Wrapping it up, we're going to show one more case study. And the reason I show this, two case studies, Jason Miller and Alejandro Carrillos from Chihuahua, Mexico, is to show the power of life to overcome even the most driest, harsh habitats. Alejandro is from the Chihuahuan desert. He's a dual citizenship, got his master's in the United States. I went to college here. Alejandro's ranch is located right here. 600 cow calf operation, 6 to 11 inches, 4th generation rancher. Alejandro's in the middle, and Jesus right here. These are the two leaders and his son. Our catalyst, this is one of the most memorial trip I've ever taken to show the power of life. Let's let Alejandro and the ranchers tell their own story.
Chihuahuan Desert, the largest desert of North America. Once lush grasslands supporting bison, antelope, sheep, golden eagle, and prairie dogs. Nowadays unproductive, eroded, lifeless land. There is no water on site. There is no life on site. There is no hope on sight. But there is something going on right in the middle of the desert. A few determined to green the desert to a large scale. Yes, they are the heroes of yesterday, the vaqueros or cowboys, once legendary for taming the wild. Nowadays are best allies to get things back on track. They are working in sync with Mother Nature, moving cattle every day using fences and water points, mimicking the migratory patterns of bison decades ago. As cattle moves, they fertilize and work the soil so life can come back once rain hits the ground. This transformation is already there, even if they are islands of grass across on the vast Chihuahuan desert. We can replicate these successful experiences. We can fix the water cycle. We can cool this arid environment. We can create habitat for wildlife. We can keep people on the land. We are in. We are cool. We are ranchers willing to tackle desertification.
I never get tired of watching that video. I get very emotional. Being from New Mexico, this is the typical landscapes that I used to see. Very close to where I went to college in New Mexico State. If you look at that, this is what Alejandro and the ranchers have to deal with. This is the Chihuahuan Desert. It takes 250 acres to support one cow. As you see in the video, that how Alejandro was able to transform his ranch. This is parts of Alejandro's ranch now. From that barren wasteland into a living prairie. I would have never imagined that the whole desert was a prairie. This was not planted. This was moving animals and emulating the buffalo and the bison. Now he only needs 20 acres to support one cow. Not only did it change the landscape, but it changed his local rain pattern. While the other ranchers are not receiving rain, he is receiving rain. That is absolutely exciting. It is those living plants that bring in that rain. It is exciting to see that transformation. This is a picture of Alejandro Carrillo's father. He's 87 years old. There he's holding this amazing grass. That grass was not planted. They stimulated the latent seed bank. He brought ecological memory by using cattle, using them as buffalo, like these giant herbivores, mimicking nature's grazing patterns. One of the best trips I've ever taken in my whole life was going to Chihuahua, Mexico. It gave me incredible hope. If we can restore these hot, brittle environments with just animals, can you imagine, farmers and ranchers, what we can do throughout the globe? We could heal our planet. Many of us have heard of global warming. I'm here to tell you the real cause of global warming. It's called global ignorance, global disconnectedness. As I drive the landscape, and I have put hundreds of thousands of miles, millions of miles, what I see that the soil is naked, hungry, thirsty, and running a fever. Naked because it doesn't have its natural covering. It's hungry because the microbes are not being fed. It's thirsty because the majority of the water is running off. We don't have a runoff problem, we have an infiltration problem. Running a fever means that the reality is the living plant is what regulates temperature and moisture. See, the problem is multidimensional. It's not just about CO2 in the atmosphere. It's about keeping the soil cool. It's about the living plant drawing in the rain clouds. All these things are connected.